Today I'm making a video about candlesticks. Now, if you're an investor, trader, anyone who has followed financial markets before, you'll have seen a chart like this. It's called a candlestick because it looks like a candlestick. You've got the body, see the shaded red area or the shaded green area, and you've got these wicks. That's the black lines that are coming out of the shaded area. And the candlesticks sort of have if you were to light a match, you could see this burning. It's shaped like a candle in a lot of ways. It could be an upside down candle. It could be a candle with two wicks. That's just sort of the way to think about it. The other interesting thing about candlesticks is they were invented many, many years ago in ancient Japan by a rice trader. And I want to tell you why the rice trader came up with candlesticks, because it might help you understand exactly why they exist in the first place. Well, every day the rice trader would go to the market, he would find that there was an opening price. So he gets to the market, just as everyone's getting there, everyone starts trading. It's the open. It's the start of trading rice in that little marketplace on the street corner. He'd also find that throughout that day, from when he first got there, the price would change pretty drastically because people would come and go randomly. New buyers, restaurants, businesses, and their sudden appearance, bringing in more demand, might shoot the price up for a minute or two, or perhaps the rest of the day. And then before he would head home, there was sort of this closing price. That was the last price he saw for the day. But if you use something like a line chart to just chart those, let me actually make sure I do these markers, you're not going to see all that information, are you? In fact, you only see one data point. And that one data point you see is depending on if you're trying to see the open or the high or the low or the close. That does stand for OHLC. You'll learn a lot about this, but you see these intervals here, these little dots, just one data point. You don't see the full range of events. But on a candlestick, which I will just change this chart to, you see the full range of events. I'm really going to zoom in here so you can understand what this means. The candlestick quite literally tells you everything you need to know. Now, keep in mind that they tell you it on specific intervals. So this is a 1-day interval that I'm on. See this? I have 1 day selected. So this candle represents a whole day of trading. The open, I know, is right here where the green starts. So I know that's the open. The reason why I know that's the open is because the candle's green and it went up from there. Now, when you see a red candle, you know the open was at the top here, because then throughout the day, it went down, and that's why it's red. So the candle on a lot of these platforms and on a lot of these trading tools and systems colors itself green or red depending on the open and then where price traveled next. And you know where the open is on a candlestick because of the color. So if it's red, well, there's no way the open was here. See where my mouse is? Because the only logical way up is up now. This candle would be green if that was the case, but it's red. So the open was up here, down, it's filled in red. On this green candle, the open was here, price went up, and now it's green. Now that brings me to the second key point about candlesticks and all the information it provides you. And that point is that you can also see the closing price. So I just showed you how to see the open. Now you know the close is where sort of the candle ends. So the candle clearly opened here because it's green. So we go up, 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 up. And this, where the line stops, where the fill stops, is where sort of the price is now or at close. Now, so what are these giant wicks? You can see these lines coming out of the candlestick. What are they? This is the price range. These are the highs and the lows. So now you're starting to see this ancient rice trader who made candlesticks, the one who founded them. He could now visualize the open. So we can see the open here. Hover our mouse, 170.56. The close, 171.51, colored in green. And he could see the highs of the day. The very top of this candle is 171.60. The very lows of the day is 169.44. So a candlestick shows you all of that information. If you don't know how to read candlesticks, this is the key starting point to reading them. You must understand that they show 4 things. That is the key to this, just like the rice trader. They show the open, they show the high, they show the low, and they show the close. You're going to see this often OHLC, open, high, low, close. Candlesticks show all of that information in one. And as mentioned, you know the open because you can just look at the color of the candle to deduce the open. So this candle's red. Well, now I know the open is the top. The close is where the red ends because that's why it's red. It's opened here and went down. That's why it's red. Or there's a green candle. That means it opened here, went up to here, and closed. So now you can very easily start to see and picture how this works. Now, the high and the low are incredibly important because that's where candlesticks are pretty remarkable, because you can see that at certain points throughout the day, price traversed that high, which is quite fascinating to see. And then you can start to take data points away, which is, let's look at this candle here, by the way. Look at the wick, candlestick, wick. You can imagine burning this wick, and it's burning down, right? Burning. This candle's just burning down. Well, this wick clearly got as high on this day as 173, and then people started selling. So it was quite a bullish day because it's still green, but you might even say that that was kind of bearish to see that it got as high as it did, but then closed all the way down here. So this is where candlesticks are just essential to trading and investing, and why they are as popular as they are today. They started in ancient Japan by a rice trader. Now they're used across all asset classes all over the world. And this is really a powerful mechanic for seeing a lot of price information on one single data point, and there aren't many other chart types that offer such a tool. So going back to the line chart once again, you can see here that you only have these single data points. Now what is key, we'll just get a little more advanced here. This is just a beginner video. I would like to remind you that if you go to various settings, or if you go and explore these sort of different chart settings that are available to you, different platforms offer different options, you can color your candles based on different events. So this says color bars based on previous close. Now this is where you want to check the candlestick features of the platform you're on. So if we do color bars based on previous close, it's checked. Now what you'll see is the candles are slightly different. So this candle, for example, is actually green, the one right here. It's actually up on the day. It opened here, because we know it's green, and it so far climbed up to here. It's gone up, so of course it's green. But if we decide to chart our candles based on the previous close, well, it's red. The reason why it's red is because now it's based on the previous close. Look at yesterday's candle. It's a daily chart, so this is yesterday. It's below yesterday, so of course it's red. It won't go green until it gets above yesterday's price. So keep that in mind as you get used to candlesticks, and keep that in mind as well that there are different ways to modify these candlesticks. But this video was really designed just to give you a basic introduction to candlesticks and how it's used all over the world. Now, keep in mind that this is not just for traders. This could be for investors. People want to see this level of price information on the chart. And now you can really start to get a feel for it just by knowing the basics of candlesticks. In addition, there are some ways for you to try to gauge trends. One example of that, in this example might be, look at the candles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight green candles. That's 7 green days. Now you can start to count candlesticks as you analyze the price action on your charts. Or you can start to count red candlesticks to understand the intense selling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 red candles in a row here before you had 2 green candles. So now you're starting to get a ratio. How many red candles to green candles? What kind of trend am I in? And more importantly, by gauging the wicks, you can just see how volatile the specific day was. So this video was designed to be an introduction to candlesticks. I hope it helps you get started in markets. It's, after all, why I started my YouTube channel. I'm just doing free educational lessons on all things markets. So just want to say thanks for watching.